40%. And they said, sold, accepted. So, when you move into the building, you'll see that these internal courtyards provide you natural light and ventilation, less mechanical cooling, less electricity consumption, yeah? We had to have some sort of renewable, and the only element that we're allowed to have, and you'll see it's not on this roof because Network Rail will not allow anything in close proximity that could fly off the roof. Mind you, they're bolted down, but hey, that's not a problem. Network Rail would not allow anything on this roof, and we have a series of photovoltaic cells, and that was the only renewable that we really could build in that was visible. So that pretty much is about 3%. Maybe you could boil it down.
The cells are solar or UV?
So they're photovoltaic. So
solar panels or UV?
I think solar. Off the top of my head, I have to check it. The guys at Medway in our engineering school have told us the best one to use, and we wrote that into the process. And it was one of the, yeah, are you laughing? Oh dear. One of the provisional sums was that we had to expend this amount of money on photovoltaic. We had it all costed up by the QS, and we set it aside to the last minute so that Medway had done all of their research and development on the panels on the wall that they were doing, and that we knew how to drop their date, and we plugged it in with the specifics of the program, so then Oswald costed it up and it's produced. So yeah.
It's not been easier to build somewhere else.
With what?
It's not been a lot easier to build somewhere else.
Well, everything, I mean, I will tell you as an architect, the site and the context is based, this is how you get this building. It's all about the site and the context. You wouldn't pick this up and build it somewhere else.
I mean, in terms of using the university's money, it could have been used somewhere else.
No, because you've got the first school of architecture, design and construction in a World Heritage Site in the world.
You've got the land to cheap.
Yeah, and we got the land for an absolute steal. I mean, yeah, rubbish. No, but I mean, you know, so, and for us, for the Greenwich University, I mean, this is a huge presence. We have a world-renowned building in Greenwich Town Centre, and Greenwich Town Centre in itself is world-renowned. So, for the university, I think it's a step forward, and it raises the profile of the uni. Your degree and piece of paper at the end of the day, how you see it, is more valuable because you move up the ranking tables. You know, these are the things that this building should be pushing. Take the bus.
In the process, what were the areas of construction before over there?
What?
The areas of construction before over there, academic point of view, what you were eating.
The area of construction?
Yeah, what you were eating. What you found over there?
Yeah, we did. We've done.
Yeah,
8 weeks. We found loads of pipes, you know, like old man smoke pipe. It's called Stockwell Street. We thought we had about 2 wells, like underground wells, but actually what we found were about 7 or 8. And they had at the bottom of them like belongings from, you know, pre-Cologne, pre-St. Alfred's Church, which is this Hawksmoor here. And I think some of the stuff they said was about 14th century, if I'm right? And it then goes up. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen an archaeological dig. You think they're out there with brushes and, you know, no way, there's a digger. It comes in, it scrapes off the first top meter, and there's a girl standing watching to see what the digger picks up. Like, I kid you not, it's not as delicate as it looks. And as soon as they see something, they know what they're looking for, they then get the brushes out. So when they started to discover wells, and they take off metre by metre, so they basically with the photograph, just see if I can flip that. The photograph that it shows you, it just shows you one level, and basically what they do is they cut away metre by metre as they go through. Oh, did I talk for that long? There you go. So that's one element, and there are all the walls of a little town centre. Because it was opposite the church, it was a little village, effectively, is what they found. We also found, and that was in one section of the site, we also found a rocket, like a, I don't know, I didn't get too close to it. That was carefully taken away. We had quite a bit of asbestos, but what we did do is hand pick it, because you'll learn that if you dig out a crate of dirt and you realise, like you've got a scoop of dirt and you realise actually it's contaminated land, and you pay to have that whole element taken away as contaminated land, it's absolutely extortionate in price. So we developed a methodology with Campbell Reef, who were the ground surveyors, and they basically developed a methodology where we could hand pick out the asbestos safely, put it in an asbestos bin and only have that taken away, and then the rest of the entire site was taken away to golf courses, new housing developments, and the soil was actually considered of high quality. So we didn't waste any of the tons of soil that were removed off site, any of the spill. But in and amongst all of this, they take ages. We still don't have the report for this, so it takes quite a long time for the archaeological group to put together the report. And the stuff that we have taken away is now in the British Museum, and there'll be an exhibition of it, ideally at some point when we gain opening the building. But it takes actually a number of years for them to establish it. We did do a presentation with all the neighbours, because the neighbours were quite interested in what we found. So to make sure that we engage with them and consult with them, we did a presentation a couple of nights in the local pub. We just got the archaeologists in and showed them what we dug up. Okay, we go for the bomb and the rocket out.
You have to do anything special with the foundation to preserve those walls and so on.
No, they record it. So because there was nothing, we didn't find a Viking. You know, if we'd come across a Viking, work would have stopped potentially for 3 months. Yeah, so basically that went on the risk register. It's factored into your program. It's costed in your budget. You're fully aware that if you do come across a Viking or a Viking ship, you're going to stop. And that's what happens. Or, you know, Richard II in the car park. You know, if we come across him or something of his relative, then your site holds. And you have to be prepared for it.
When the construction workers just be tempted to just dump it, I think there's 3 months is quite a long time to wait for proof.
You write it in the contract, they have to do it.
I imagine they would. I imagine I wrote quite a lot of them.
No, they're pretty good.
Quite a skeleton. Well, it's been dead, so just dump it.
But you'll realise that the construction workers don't do this. This isn't their specialty. And